The stuff we had to do to get home is crazy. But we made it. And if you're missing a car, you can come get it. We don't want it.
Tonner.
That post went up the same night a man was killed. The man who owned that car couldn't come get it. He was dead. Before anything else, you need to know who he was. His name was Daniel Figueroa, 28 years old, from Downers Grove, Illinois. He worked 2 jobs, Amazon warehouse during the day, Uber Eats at night. Not because he was chasing anything big, just because someone was counting on him. Her name was Sandra. She was his girlfriend, the person he wanted to build a life with, the person he wanted to marry. And he showed up for her every single day. 2 jobs, late nights, early mornings, quietly, without making noise about it. His dad, Carlos, remembered a son who loved fishing, who loved drawing, who even had a small fishing pole tattooed on his finger. Just a good person, working hard, not bothering anybody. That night, he had just come off a full shift at Amazon. He logged on to Uber Eats to pick up a few extra deliveries. And he was almost done. 1 delivery left, just 1, and then he was going home.
Shouldn't have to picture my boyfriend like that, somebody who I wanted to marry. Didn't get no text or no call from him until his mom reached out to me at 7 o'clock in the morning saying, you know, he had passed away. We had the whole day planned out for him to spend it with him, and I can't believe it right now. I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm sad. I don't know what to do.
If stories like Daniel's matter to you, the ones that don't always get told right, hit subscribe right now. It costs you nothing. And it's the only way these stories reach the people who need to hear them. Now let me take you to 2:10 in the morning. Chicago's West Side. The exact moment everything changed. West Flournoy Street. Chicago's West Side. 2:10 in the morning. Daniel parked his light blue Dodge Caravan outside Loretto Hospital. He left the engine running, just long enough to walk in and drop off the food. Maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's all he needed. 30 seconds and he was done for the night. The surveillance cameras outside that hospital were rolling, and they caught everything. 3 people came down the street. They saw the van. They walked straight to it. She got in the driver's seat. The others took the passenger side. Daniel came back out of that hospital. He saw what was happening. He ran. He grabbed the passenger door handle. He held on. She accelerated. He was dragged. Half a block. The rear tire went over him, and then they drove away.
Chicago police tell us a Maywood woman is now facing charges of murder and vehicular hijacking after she allegedly hit and killed an Uber Eats driver near Loretto Hospital. Police tell us this woman here, 33-year-old Montoya Perry, was arrested after 10 hours after she stole an Uber Eats driver's car and hit him before taking off. That Uber Eats driver was Daniel Figueroa, a 28-year-old man from Downers Grove. He was found unresponsive just after 2 a.m. on Monday near Flournoy Street in the South Austin neighborhood. He was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Nobody called 911. Nobody went back. So who found him? A doctor at Loretto Hospital had ordered food through Uber Eats that night. He waited. Nothing came. The app said the driver had arrived. Location confirmed. But there was no knock, no delivery. So he went outside to check. He found a man in the street, unresponsive, in a pool of blood. He opened the Uber Eats app on his phone. He looked at the driver's photo. He looked at the man on the ground. Same face. He called Daniel's name. Nothing. A doctor used a food delivery app to identify a dying man lying in front of him. Think about that for a second. He called 911. Daniel was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital. He was pronounced dead at 2:46 a.m. His family was getting the call. And at that same moment, she was on Facebook, while his family was getting the worst phone call of their lives. She went on Facebook. The same post you saw at the start of this video. It hits differently now. The stuff we had to do to get home is crazy, but we made it. And if you're missing a car, you can come get it. Now stop on one word. We. She didn't write "I made it home." She wrote "we." That means at least 2 other people got in that van with her. 2 people who drove away. 2 people who, as of this story, have not faced any public charges. We'll come back to that. Her people said she didn't know he died. that she thought he made it. That's the only reason she could post something that casual. But here is what the evidence shows. She was in the driver's seat. She felt what happened. She drove home, posted on Facebook. Never called for help. Never went back. The judge said it straight. He told her she struck him, basically like he was garbage, and just left him there. Now, who is this person? Because this was not the first time. Tots. Montoya Perry, 33 years old. From Maywood, Illinois. 8 prior felony convictions. Going all the way back 2010. Aggravated robbery, carjacking, burglary, forgery, fleeing police, lying to officers. In 2013, she walked up to a woman on the street, and she said, "Give me your backpack, or I will take your life." She did 7 years for that. She got out in 2018, did a radio interview, said she was done with that life, and for a while, she meant it. She completed parole in early 2025, posted about it like a milestone, said the year was hers. Then, February 11, 2026. Arrested again, resisting, obstructing, a traffic stop in Melrose Park. They let her go, pre-trial release. 12 days later, West Flournoy Street, 8 convictions, out on pre-trial release. And 12 days after her last arrest, she was walking down the street where Daniel was parked. And then they released her photo.
Perry has 8 previous felony convictions and was already out on pretrial release for another crime she had just committed 2 weeks ago before allegedly carrying out a deadly carjacking early Monday morning.
That is the face of someone who had just been charged with murder. And then she walked into court. And that is where it all broke open. She walked into that courtroom on crutches. Prosecutors laid out every single conviction, every charge, the full picture. The judge heard all of it. He ordered her detained without bail. She cried. She smiled in the mugshot and cried in court. The tears came a little late. Daniel's mother, Eleanor Rivera, was there that day. She came to that courthouse to watch the person charged with killing her son face a judge. And that's when it turned physical. Perry's people walked directly in front of Daniel's family in that hallway. Words were exchanged. Then it became more than words. Deputies had to step in. 2 people were handcuffed, right there, in a courthouse. While a mother was trying to get justice for her son, Eleanor Rivera still stood up, still spoke.
I'm happy in my heart that she's being detained and that the case is moving forward. There's no doubt in our minds that she did it, and she did it with intent to hurt and left my son there to die.
But here's what a lot of people are still asking. Because she wasn't the only one in that van. Where are the other 2? Go back to that word, we. 3 people got in that van. 3 people drove away from that street. Surveillance cameras recorded all 3 of them. Only 1 person has been charged. 2 people walked away from West Flournoy Street that night. And as of the time of this video, the question of where they are and what accountability they face does not have a clean answer. 1 person in a cell. 2 people, still unaccounted for. That is where this case stands right now. No resolution here. Because there isn't one yet. And while that sits unanswered, here is what Daniel left behind. Sandra started a GoFundMe after Daniel was gone. She wrote that her life changed the moment she lost him. That he was the main provider for their home. That every day since has been a new challenge just to keep standing. Thousands of people who had never met Daniel sent what they could. Because his story hit something real. His dad, Carlos, said Daniel loved fishing, loved drawing, loved taking care of the people around him.
I hope my son didn't suffer. He didn't deserve this. Not one bit. He was a good kid. On his way home, this was going to be his last stop. 1 delivery, 1 van left running, 30 seconds. That is all it took. And 2 people who were there that night are still out there. This story is not over. If you believe cases like this deserve more attention than they get, you're already on the right channel. Rest easy, Daniel.